Welcome to the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act training provided by the Okaloosa County Schools District. This training aims to familiarize Okaloosa County School District staff with this federal and state law. District staff must be trained annually on the identification and services available to students who meet the McKinney-Vento definition of homelessness. The relationship between school and home is integral to the success of our students experiencing homelessness.
Do you see the child experiencing homelessness? It'll take more than a glance. Despite record numbers of U.S. children without a permanent home, many experiencing homelessness remain largely invisible. And COVID-19 has made the problem even worse. Why does it matter? For a better future, every child needs an education. But families and youth experiencing homelessness can face unfair hurdles that make it difficult to enroll and participate in school. We all have a role to play, ensuring each child has the opportunity to learn. What can you do? It starts with looking closer. Just because homelessness isn't easy to spot, doesn't mean it's not there. If you've identified a child or a family who may need help, whether you are a teacher or a member of the community, learn more by talking with them with sensitivity. And finally, act by helping families and youth experiencing homelessness connect to resources at school and exercise their right to an education. Visit letseducateeverychild.org to learn more and find useful resources that can help families and youth experiencing homelessness. Together, we can ensure all children get the opportunities they deserve.
The McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act was originally passed in 1987 and updated in 2015 as part of the Every Student Succeeds Act. It ensures educational rights and protections for children and youth experiencing homelessness. The Act provides grants and legal protections so children and youth in homeless situations can enroll in school, attend school, and achieve success in school and preschool. The McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act provides immediate enrollment, educational stability, and school selection, free meals, child-centered, best interest decision-making, transportation, support for academic success. Homeless children encounter various barriers, including lack of transportation, lack of immunization and medical records, lack of school records, lack of birth certificates, frequent mobility, secondary schools, lack of credit accrual, poor health, lack of necessities such as shelter, clothing, food. Often when we hear the word homeless, we think of a similar picture: no home, no money, no job, helpless, hungry. However, the McKinney-Vento law defines homelessness more broadly. You may envision someone living in a car or without a roof over their head at night. While these students are certainly homeless, the definition is much broader. Who is considered homeless? Anyone who lacks a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Can the student go to the same place every night to sleep in a safe and sufficient space? A fixed residence is stationary, permanent, and not subject to change. A regular residence is used on a predictable, routine, or consistent basis. An adequate residence meets both the physical and psychological needs typically met in the home. Nighttime residences include sharing the housing of others due to loss of housing, economic hardship, or other similar reasons. Emergency or transitional shelter, hospital due to abandonment, motels, hotels, trailer parks, camping grounds due to lack of alternative adequate accommodations, cars, parks, public spaces, abandoned buildings, substandard housing, bus or train stations, or similar settings, or a public or private place not designed for sleeping accommodations for human beings. It is often difficult to identify students experiencing homelessness because many families may not realize they fit the definition of homeless based on the McKinney-Vento law. People may hide homelessness or be unaware of the law. The students hardest to identify are those doubled up or couch surfing because they can't afford a place of their own. The term unaccompanied youth includes a homeless child or youth not in the physical custody of a parent or guardian. For a student to be an unaccompanied homeless youth, they must be experiencing homelessness in a living arrangement that meets the definition of homeless, and unaccompanied, not in the physical custody of a parent or guardian. Identification is the first step to ensuring educational access for students experiencing homelessness. We cannot serve and support these students if we do not know who they are. Assistance can potentially change the entire life for the better. It's the law, federal and state. Front office staff are often the first people that parents, guardians, or unaccompanied youth come in contact with when enrolling their children for school. When identifying students, remember, circumstances may vary from family to family. A student's living condition can change at any time during the school year. Students experiencing homelessness do not all look the same. Students experiencing homelessness do not all have the same behavior patterns. Many of the students are in situations in which they have no control. They are doing the best they can. If you suspect that a student may be McKinney-Vento eligible, immediately contact your school's Title IX contact. They will communicate with the district's Title IX liaison. Common signs of homelessness include chronic hunger, fatigue, they may sleep in class, frequent absences and tardiness, shyness, medical and/or dental needs, change in behavior, decline in grades, student appears stressed or anxious, student accrues an unpaid meal balance, watch for students who are not eating, disorganized or unprepared for school. Just because a student shows one of these signs does not necessarily mean they are homeless. If you notice any of these signs, you may want to pay closer attention. Also, just because a student is not displaying any of these signs does not mean they are not experiencing homelessness. It is often difficult for homeless students to discuss their unstable housing situations. 67% of students say they were uncomfortable telling people at school about their homelessness and asking for help. Therefore, it's important to pay close attention to certain behaviors and other signs that may indicate homelessness. Causes of homelessness can vary widely and may include economic hardship, loss of housing, family issues, and other factors. Resources available for homeless students and unaccompanied youth include free meals through school nutrition programs, school of origin transportation, academic tutoring, assistance in obtaining documents such as birth certificates, school records, etc., assistance in accessing other resources, medical, food, emergency and transitional housing, clothing, backpack with school supplies, toiletries, and clothing. Schools have several responsibilities, including enrolling them immediately, even without all the necessary enrollment documents, assist the family in getting all the necessary paperwork, waive all fees, ensure access to all services, including sports and extracurricular activities. Limited Title IX funds are available to assist with educational field trips. Please see attached reimbursement process. Connect students with services such as tutoring and counseling if needed. Check on current attendance and grades of students. Best practice is a minimum of 2 times each quarter. Communicate with school's cafeteria manager for students to start receiving free meals immediately. All McKinney-Vento youth must be able to receive individualized counseling from school counselors to prepare and improve their readiness for college, including college selection, application, financial aid, FAFSA, and to help make sure they are on track to be promoted to the next grade level or to graduate. Students have a right to immediate enrollment in an eligible school. Parents have a right to determine school placement in an eligible school and a responsibility to consider their child's best interest. Schools have a responsibility to protect the student's best interest. Custody does not need to be awarded by the court for enrollment. Parents do not need to sign guardianship documents for the student to be enrolled. Unaccompanied youth may register without a parent. Once a student is determined McKinney-Vento eligible, they remain so for the entire school year, even if their living situation changes. Students are identified at the start of each school year, even if previously identified and still experiencing homelessness. There is not an automatic rollover each school year. It is critically important to maintain confidentiality when working with students and their families who are experiencing homelessness. Hold conversations about students in private locations to prevent information from being overheard. A student's homeless status must be treated as a confidential school record. Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA laws apply. Look and listen for clues. Listen to students chatter in the morning or after school. Are students getting on or off the bus in different locations? Are they wearing the same clothes every day? What are the conditions of the home? Are they adequate? Are the students missing school more than usual or arriving late more than usual? Are the students telling you their home doesn't have electricity or running water? Are there many people living in the same apartment or house? It is important to remember that when a child's world is turned upside down, the only stable and consistent thing they may have left in their life is school. The goal is to remove all barriers to education created by homelessness. We want to provide a nurturing and supportive environment as much as possible. Thank you for your time and attention to this very important matter. If you have any questions, your first contact is your Title IX contact at your school, which is usually the school counselor. She will have applications as well as a needs assessment that the families can complete. Registrars also have this information. We hope you will remain diligent, and thank you again for making sure that there are no barriers for our students.